I, in fact, have data out on our screen right now, which looks at the tenures of 3 different chief ministers, Mayawati, Akhilesh Yadav and Yogi Adityanath and Ghanshyam Tiwari. The data says whether you look at the number of murder cases or you look at the number of rape cases, it's under Akhilesh Yadav, the Samajwadi Party chief minister, that the cases peaked. In fact, under Yogi Adityanath, the number of cases of rape and murder actually coming down. The BJP can argue, don't look just at Hathras, don't look just at what happened in Darjanpur. These are terrible, as Siddharth Nath Singh says, but it's not because we're in power, it's happening despite our best efforts. Let's start with Ghanshyam Tiwari.
Well, let me add to your data. I have the newspapers of today which have great glowing pictures of Adityanath. You open the newspaper, it says UP is ranked 2 in ease of doing business. You open the newspaper, you hear about heinous, spine-chilling crime in Barabanki where a Dalit girl was raped. You read about Hathras, you read about hunting of a common man by a BJP leader who's the right-hand man of a BJP MLA, Surendra Nath Singh, who Mr. Siddharth Nath Singh was saying some disciplinary action will happen. If you look at Surendra Nath Singh himself, there are 4 charges against him on criminal intimidation, 1 charge on attempt to culpable homicide, 1 charge attempt to murder. There's a whole list that we will exhaust the program, will not complete. Look at the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister. There are 150 MLAs and MPs of BJP who have criminal charges. 100 have serious criminal charges. This is an administration sitting in the lap of criminals. Adityanath did not become Chief Minister by doing peace march, or Keshav Prasad Maurya did not become Deputy Chief Minister by doing peace march. So to give them a flag just because they advertise a lot like this, that they will clean up Uttar Pradesh just because they said so. The news, everyday news does not tell us. Yes, we can look at statistics and argue over them, but that statistic will not tell us why a man who was caught by 6 policemen, who in a previous visual sat with the CEO, sat with the SDM, carried a gun openly to representing a women's Sahayata Samuh. And why is the man still scot-free?
Okay, so Anila is saying, Ghanshyam Tiwari says, your claims of fixing law and order are nothing but a marketing gimmick. This man comes to a public auction with a gun. He shoots a man in broad daylight, manages to get away despite being caught by half a dozen policemen. It clearly means that law and order is not on the mend on your watch.
Rahul, just now even your channel was showing the graphics that crime was at its epitome during the Samajwadi Party tenure. I was listening to Mr. Tiwari and he was saying so high about Mr. Akhilesh Yadav. So let me tell him that you are downsizing Yogi Adityanath ji and you are talking so high about Akhilesh Yadav ji. Then I have to tell you, Akhilesh Yadav ji got politics on the platter. Silver, gold platter, whatever you want to say. And Yogi Adityanath ji doesn't comes from any legacy. He has worked hard to achieve this and he is working hard to control crime and criminals and corruption in Uttar Pradesh. And UP people, they have got trust and confidence in Yogi Adityanath ji. That is why we have made hat-trick here. Samajwadi Party cannot claim, and just now you gave several examples. You mentioned about Barabanki also, Mr. Tiwari. Then I have to tell you that in Barabanki, the cousin brother of the girl, he is the accused. He did the crime. So what you have to say about all those people who are sitting right there in the house or they are the neighbors and they commit crime against
Supriya Srinath, so Anila Singh counters by saying it's not as if these incidents are happening because we want them to. Crime and corruption is on the mend. It's happening despite our government's best efforts. Supriya.
I don't for a second believe that any government can completely stop crime. I don't think we can live in fool's paradise, whether it is Congress or BJP or any other government in this country. But the reality is what follows after a criminal act is what is important. And in UP, what follows after a criminal act is more often than not negligence. Here is a man who in broad daylight shoots a guy dead and then instead of being captured, he flees. Are you telling me that 5 policemen could not hold this man back? Are you telling me they are not complicit? Are you telling me that the elected MLA of that place comes and says, "Ye to kriya ki pratikriya hai"? He's justifying the act, and this same MLA has made absurd statements. In fact, very, very victim-shaming statements on Hathras. No action has been taken against him. The minister was here some time back, and he goes on to say that, SP has not been suspended. His information is wrong. His information is also wrong. The disciplinary action has been taken. What disciplinary action has been taken against Ranjit Srivastava, who made that gruesome, statement about Ganne ka khet? What action are we talking about? I mean, UP today is a jungle raj. We can look the other way and say we are not going to talk about it because he did not have it on a silver platter. I don't understand these arguments. The reality is there is no law and order. कानून की कोई व्यवस्था है ही नहीं. आज broad daylight में दिन दहाड़े एक आदमी की हत्या होती है, वो आदमी 5 पुलिस ऑफिसर्स के होते हुए भी भाग जाता है. वो भाग सकता है या उसको भगाया गया है.